hold to come back in. Yep.
North to south as another two.
I've been on my own for long years. Maybe you can show me how to. Maybe I'm going through a trouble.
All right, keep your eyes focused to your left as they make their inbound run from the north to the south back in formation.
I away.
Nope.
Not there.
Now with the ground forces protected and the F-35s low on fuel, they will rejoin with the KC-135 air refueler out of the 91st Air Refueling Squadron from MacDill Air Force Base in Florida to get fuel for follow-on tasking or to fly back to their forward operating base.
No. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And Panther, you have the airspace.
Right over here.
Both got you in sight.
First pair.
The two fighters rejoined with the KC-135. It will take precision flying and coordination from all three aircraft to connect with the boom operator. Air refueling can take place at speeds as high as 300 miles per hour and altitudes up to 20,000 feet. The two F-35s will now land. The KC-35 will come around to demonstrate a low pass. KC-135 Stratotanker provides the core aerial refueling capability for the United States Air Force and has excelled in its role for more than 60 years. This unique asset enhances the Air Force's capability to accomplish its primary mission of global reach. It also provides aero refueling support to the Air Force, to the Navy, to the Marine Corps, and to allied nation aircraft. KC-135 is also capable of transporting litter or ambulatory patients using patient support pallets during aeromedical evacuations.
They're gonna fly around. They're gonna fly around one more time. You can say they're gonna come in, come down, and you get it.
now, because we have the ability, the F-35s are going to again commence from the north to our left and do another pass down the show line. We're going to take this opportunity to again try to reunite children with their parents. And we're paging Kathy, Himonarsh. Please report to the Lost Child booth. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your help. There's a photo op for you. KC-135 getting ready to refuel, perhaps over the North Atlantic. 2 jets with no place to land and low on fuel. It's been doing it since 1957.
Probably wait till they're center line and we can just get away. Whatever you think.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the 2024 Warriors over Wasatch Air Power Demonstration. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our effort to showcase a few of the wide-ranging combat capabilities of the United States Air Force and the combat power of Hill Air Force Base. If you have any further questions about Air Force combat air power, please stop by the static display of our aircraft and meet U.S. Air Force aviators.
170 at 6.
Welcome back, and thank you again for watching the coverage of the Warriors over the Wasatch Air Show. I'm Devin Mishuli, meteorologist from KSL, and gladly joined by Dan Hawkins. And what is your title again? Just a guy?
Just air show guy,
okay,
hanging
cool.
out, yeah.
That's a great introduction, right? Just a guy hanging out, enjoying the show.
Yeah, that's me.
You were just watching the F-35s trailing a KC-135.
Correct.
I'm still learning all the technical plane terms, but a lot of awesome stuff is going on. Awesome things, awesome visuals. And now we have another awesome thing to talk about. We are joined by Thunderbird Staff Sergeant Sierra Kraut, the Commander's support staff. Her main job is personnel for the team, but during the show, she takes on additional duties as a key part of the show center team. So she actually films each show for the pilots for them to review during debrief, and also performs or takes notes and performs on timing for the pilots so they can keep their training awesome and keep improving every single day. So thank you so much for joining us, Sierra.
Thank you for having me. I'm
so glad to be here with you all.
Well, please tell us about yourself. Where did you grow up? Why do you want to, join to be a pilot? Tell us everything you can.
Okay, so I grew up in Michigan, born and raised. I do claim North Carolina as home just because that's where residency is. That's where the folks are. Couple brothers, sisters. I kind of have a blended family. It's super cool. I'm still the youngest, so that's even better.
It is better?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I guess it's better. I'm the middle child, so I can't speak on that. But.
So that's always been like the most amazing part. I joined, so for my story, it's a little different. Most people join 18, sometimes 19. I didn't join until I was 25, so I gave myself a little bit of time in the outside world, and then I realized, this probably isn't working out too well. And so from there, I went on to just I found a recruiter, talked with them, and then I just wanted that consistency. Like, okay, I know I work Monday through Friday from this time to this time. I do this, I do this. I'm a more of a very particular. I like things in the order. So this just it's more stability, more consistency.
Makes sense why you joined the military. Yeah. They're pretty particular to their orders.
Order is fine. Black and white. Gray areas kind of scare me a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
So your specific job, can you touch on what you do? I know we briefly kind of mentioned it, but go in depth a little bit more.
So as a personnelist, we pretty much do career management for the whole base. So each person we take care of, from their promotions, how much they get paid, to what unit they're assigned to, their job skill levels, where they go to their next location, when they're coming into our location. So I tell them I'm pretty much human resources for the, pretty much HR for the Thunderbirds. Yeah. For even when I'm not with the Thunderbirds, just in a regular unit, I'm still that HR person.
Okay.
But you actually, though, have a pretty cool job, because not only do you get to do the HR stuff, but you actually have a hand in the operational mission of the Thunderbirds. Yes. Can you kind of talk about that and what an important job it is, but also, how much do you like that? Like, I think it sounds cool.
Yeah, being able to film them and then almost critique them to make it like the picture perfect. So maybe, touch on that more.
So as a safety filmer, I literally film from the time the engines start to the time that the engines shut off, because you never know what's going to happen through that whole time frame. So the pilots are very particular about what they would like to see. So as a filmer, I have to make sure I'm catching every single moment of that, no matter what is going on. So it's pretty awesome. Get to travel with the team a lot. So as a personnelist, or as operations, that's what we call it, the operations side, we're also like load crew. So we upload all of our cargo, download all of the cargo. So it's very interesting. It's a lot of additional duties, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, this is super, one of the best jobs in the whole Air Force.
It sounds like you wear a lot of hats. Do you have a particular favorite hat?
I actually don't mind doing the film. It's actually, it becomes muscle memory after a while. So even if I haven't filmed for, let's say, about 2 weeks, I'm like, all right, let me check on my buttons, make sure I get everything, and then it literally is like a flip, and you just right back into it. It's nice to know that you are this main body, or this main component of this big organization, and they rely on you very heavily to make sure that everything is going the way that it's supposed to.
And I imagine you have to, work very closely with the pilots and kind of tell them what to do. I imagine they're all pretty good sports, but how is that relationship between you and the pilots and making sure everything is as good as it can be?
Oh, it's perfect. So I always ask them for feedback, like, hey, is this what you want to see? Do you want to see this? Do you want to see that? I also work very heavily with Thunderbird number 7. He's our DO, so he's kind of like our liaison between show sitters, what we call it, and the pilots. So if something goes wrong with film, or they want to tweak something, they usually talk to him, or they talk to me like, hey, we would like to see blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. That's no problem. But other than that, like, it's always great. No tension or anything like that. So I love it.
So you already mentioned one job, another Thunderbird personnel does. Maybe you can touch on other jobs that are under the Thunderbirds umbrella that the team members may do, or along with the Thunderbirds demonstration team.
Yes.
There's probably a lot, so maybe just pick a few.
Couple.
Okay, so we have about 31 to 32 different jobs actual on the team.
Wow.
We have from gazillion maintainers. We have public affairs. We have medics on the team. We have communications on the team. So everybody has an additional duty that they do at the shows or at the show sites when we go.
Yeah, so the Thunderbirds, we're getting closer to their performance today, obviously. So much fun. But can you just tell us a little bit about what the viewers at home or those attending the air show, what we can expect to see today out of the Thunderbirds?
You have to expect to see a lot of air power. Just be prepared. There are some sneak passes in there. I can't tell you where they are, but you might get a little scared, but that's okay. But it's going to be an amazing show. We always show up and show out and do everything that we can to make sure that the people who are watching have a great time, a great experience. We love to inspire people, so that's why you see a lot of the narration in the show, or there's certain maneuvers that we do, because it's just like oh my gosh, or like, oh wow, like it's nice.
There's a performance in the air, but there's also like a pre-show performance on the floor, and I heard there's like a Disney tie to it. So maybe you could touch on that element of the floor routine.
Yes, so it's called the ground show or maintenance march. So our maintenance personnel, they have a cadence or step-by-step that they do every second or every move, every this, every that. It's literally timed. So while they're marching, they're timing their stuff inside of their head. They make sure their moves are sharp, and they do pretty much like a pre-maintenance check on the jets as they're doing that. Oh. It is a Disney theme. I believe it's How to Train a Dragon 2. So you might hear some of that in there. I love How to Train a Dragon. So yeah.
That's new information. I had not heard that before.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's definitely gave us a look behind the curtain. So we really appreciate that. So I guess we'll end it on this. Like, what's the coolest thing about being with the United States Air Force Thunderbirds?
Being a Thunderbird.
That
is honestly the coolest thing, the best way to put it. And being able to travel and connect with different people, you form so many connections all the time. So it's amazing.
Awesome.
All right. Well, Staff Sergeant Sierra Kraut from the Air Force Thunderbirds, America's Ambassadors in Blue. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
It was great.
Thank you so much.
All right, so the partnership between Hill Air Force Base and the surrounding communities is a big priority. Let's take a look at how Hill is working to be better integrated into the community and help airmen call Utah home.
Project One increases readiness by strengthening airmen's sense of belonging and community.
Every airman and every family benefits when they feel they belong in their community, when they feel valued, appreciated, and encouraged. That's true everywhere. However, we started Project One here in Utah because Utah offers our airmen and their families an experience different than most other places. In many ways, it's amazing, but in others, it can be more challenging.
Project One is made up of 5 focus areas: airmen and families, primary and secondary schools, colleges and governments, community partners, and religious and spiritual support. And while we do our best to provide ways for our airmen and their families to connect to communities and find their place here, there's one key factor airmen and their families need for Utah to feel like home, and that's you.
Hill Air Force Base is filled with airmen from all over the world. It can be isolating when you feel like no one understands you or your culture. By participating and supporting Hill Air Force Base in one or more of the 5 focus areas, we can create a community that elevates Hill's mission readiness and ensures every resident of our towns and cities feel like they belong and have a home here in Utah.
In addition to securing our national defense, Hill Air Force Base is an economic engine for the state.
Hill provides thousands of job opportunities to Utah, and we appreciate the contribution Hill's airmen and their families make in our communities. From an economic perspective, Hill Air Force Base and its associated activities brought over $11 billion to our state just last year, helping Utah maintain its status as the #1 economy in the nation. And while we appreciate the economic impact, Utah is a state where patriotism runs deep. Utahns value service and love that we get to be home to our airmen and their families as they keep us free. I hope that every airman and every family feels how much we appreciate them and their service in every engagement they have in our communities. We're excited to partner with the base through Project One to increase our airmen's readiness and make Utah home.
Welcome back, and what a great partnership between the base and the community. It's really such a supportive community here.
It is packed as well. It's like awesome to see all these faces enjoying the show, just in awe, because there's a lot of cool things happening, like the B2 coming through. That's, I heard, pretty rare. So there's a lot of awesome things happening, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the show. Again, I'm Devin Mishuli.
Yeah, Dan Hawkins, so glad you're joining us on day one of this Utah Air Show, the Warriors over the Wasatch. And we just saw some F-35s, so it seems like a perfect time to bring in our next guest. We're going to bring in Colonel Mike Drifter is his call sign, and it's not
it's Getty.
Getty. There we go. See, I just wanted to make sure we didn't mess it up. No gets here today.
No.
But the commander of the 388th Fighter Wing, and obviously the F-35s that the local community sees flying in the air every day, fall underneath your command, sir. Can you talk a little bit about the mission of your 388th Fighter Wing and what you do for America's defense?
So the 388th Fighter Wing is about 2,000 people in the wing. We have 78 F-35s on the ramp, so we fly and fix F-35s and deploy wherever we're needed across the world. So our mission is to deliver F-35 dominance anytime, anywhere, and we prove that all the time. Just since I've been here, we've been to the Pacific 3 times, to Europe twice, and to the Middle East once, doing what the nation asks us to do.
And if the F-35 is the most advanced fighter, then what does the future hold for it, and what else do you see its capabilities going, or how far do you see that going?
Right, so you mentioned it's the most advanced fighter aircraft ever built. That's my line normally.
I read your mind. You got
got.
That's what I was going to say. I was trying to play it, anyways. Moving on.
But what makes it so advanced is it's what we call a fifth-generation aircraft. So what makes an aircraft fifth generation is the stealth characteristics. So the airplane's hard to detect on radar, so we can get in places that other aircraft can't get closer into where we need to be. And it also has fifth-generation sensors on it. So there's sensors all over the airplane that are taking in data on where the enemy is, and that gets presented to us on the display in a God's eye view, which makes it very easy to have situational awareness of what's going on and be able to affect the battle space. And when we're out there, we're always out front. So we have more information than anybody else. We can share it with everybody else. So it's really important that anywhere we need to be, we're there and we're out front, kind of leading the charge.
Yeah, so interesting, the command and control characteristics that probably have to be displayed inside the F-35. But can you talk a little bit about, for maybe somebody who's not as familiar with the F-35, about what an average day looks like for members on your team? What are the training requirements? What does it take to fly this high-performance aircraft?
Air combat's obviously complex. The machine is complex, so it takes a lot of hard training from everybody on the team to be able to be as good as we need to be. So kind of an average young pilot will fly 3 to 4 times a week. When you get kind of older like me, it's 1 to 2 times, and then they give you some more desk work to do, but that's okay. And then also 3 to 4 simulators per month as well, where we can do a little bit more kind of high-end training and you get some more repetitions. But it's important to both fly the airplane and combine that with the simulator training. The missions we're training to, offensive counter-air, defensive counter-air, suppression of enemy air defenses. So we're in there among the enemy making stuff happen, and we train really hard for that.
And tell us more about your team and the people that are assigned here at the 388th Wing.
388th Fighter Wing.
Fighter wing, thank you.
Affectionately known as Panther Nation. So we've nicknamed the jet the Panther.
Okay.
You might have heard Panther 1 and 2 on the radio a second ago. And since we were the first combat F-35 wing in the Air Force, we affectionately call ourselves Panther Nation. But I'm honored to be in command of 2,000 of the finest airmen in the Air Force or anywhere in the world, in my opinion. So this is a very elite unit. Like I said, we were the first Air Force operational F-35 wing chosen. We were also the first chosen to fly the F-16 when it came out, so we take that heritage very seriously. And our airmen come from all over the country to form an elite team here as we do what we need to do to deter our adversaries.
Yeah, so I'm really curious about, obviously the F-35 demonstration team, Mock and her entire team do a great job. What does it take physically and mentally to fly that type of profile like she does?
Yeah, so Mock spends a lot of time in the gym. Getting ready.
I was going to say, you probably have to be very physically
You have to be fit, and it's only a 15-minute long show, but she's pulling, 8, 9 Gs. She's going 0.95 Mach, so almost the speed of sound a couple times during the show. It's very physically demanding on her, but she flies a lot, trains a lot, obviously trains her mind and her body to be ready to go, and she has the support, obviously, of her whole team and our whole wing as she gets ready to do that. But it's kind of amazing because that seems like a lot, but your body, you just kind of get used to it. And then we have certain anti-G straining maneuvers and things that we do to make it easier to handle the G forces and things. So she's obviously an expert at that.
Yeah, that's awesome because I recently felt the G-force. I had the pleasure of going on the L-39, and I felt like I almost passed out. And that was only like 4 Gs, so that's incredible.
Did you fly with Sticky?
I did fly with Sticky, yeah. Awesome, but I felt like I almost passed out.
You made
it's
it.
Awesome.
You made it.
I did. I'm here to tell the tale, and lovely get to interview you.
Good.
So you have 2,000 people. That's insane for one guy too. I mean, I'm sure the military does this all the time, but maybe you can touch on how you also are, because Utah has a training area just in the West Desert. So maybe you could talk about how you're a part of the training team here and other elements of your job.
Right. That's Mock taking off right now for her demonstration, so this will be pretty good timing. I mentioned before that we fly and fix the F-35, but I also, the Utah Test and Training Range also falls under me.
Okay.
And so that's a 2.3 million acre range. It's essentially the western half of Utah is our airspace and our bombing range, and we consider it a national treasure. So we do 95% of our training out there. So when you see us take off, we usually go that way. Underneath the airliners and out to the airspace, and that's where we do our training every day. And they also have a test mission out there. So the main part of that test mission would be testing long-range weapons like cruise missiles and things, which makes our mission more diverse here because we're not only training warriors out on the range, but also testing high-tech weapons.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the hot seat. I know you're obviously an experienced pilot, over 2,500 flying hours, over 250 combat flying hours, a former F-15 pilot, maybe once an F-15 pilot, always an F-15 pilot. I don't know, but I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Oh, boy.
F-35 or F-15, what's your favorite? Everybody has a favorite.
It's the F-35, hands down.
All right, okay, I figured
hands down. It is a quantum leap in technology, and it's the one you want to go to war in.
And the most advanced. You can say you're lying again.
Or the baddest. You can say the baddest fighter ever built, too, whichever you want.
Yeah. So when did you actually start flying the F-35?
I transitioned to the F-35 back in 2013. So started flying it back then and was honored to help stand up the first squadron, Air Force squadron that flew the F-35, which was down at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. And then the rest is history.
When did you come to Hill Air Force Base? When did this program really get underway, or has it always been underway here?
So the program stood up here in 2015 to 2016 is when the first jets arrived here. I wasn't here at the time. So I got here 3 years ago. I was the deputy, we call it the vice commander at the time, but they now call it the deputy wing commander for 2 years. And then I fleeted up to be the wing commander last summer. So I've been here 3 years, 1 year to go, and I'm loving it. Also wanted to mention while I was talking to you guys, I feel like this is a good time. But so being here over 3 years, I've gotten to know a lot of the people in the community, and I've never been at an Air Force base that's more where the community is more supportive of what we do. Our airmen, there's hundreds of them out here today, like volunteering and helping out, and we just get a lot of support from them. So I wanted to give the local community a shout out while I was here.
And I'm sure they certainly appreciate that, and I know you appreciate them. So we're going to get ready to kick it out to the narrator, because Captain Mock Klusner about to fly the F-35 demonstration for the crowd. Enjoy the show.
Copies narrated.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a moment to describe the unique history of what you are about to watch. In 1997, the leaders of Air Combat Command assembled a select group of retired military and civilian performers to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the United States Air Force. From this gathering was born the Heritage Flight, a unique visual representation of the Air Force's history from the days of the Army Air Corps to the present. What started out as a one-time event has grown in popularity and demand, and now Heritage Flights are performed at air shows and special events in the United States and around the world. Please turn with me now and watch as this rare formation approaches from behind and overhead. Flying in formation today is a World War II era P-51 Mustang nicknamed Wee Willie II, piloted by Steve-O Hinton, and your United States Air Force's F-35A Lightning II, piloted by Captain Melanie Mock Klusner. The legendary P-51 Mustang dominated the skies over Western Europe after it was introduced in World War II. Powered by a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, the Mustang has a top speed of 437 miles per hour and can travel up to 2,000 miles. It was also equipped with 6 50 caliber Browning machine guns and carried up to 2,000 pounds of munitions. We would like to dedicate today's Heritage Flight to all military veterans in attendance whose sacrifices over the years have helped preserve America's freedom. We hope you enjoy watching this rare formation of classic and current United States Air Force aircraft on our journey from heritage to horizons. Please turn with me now and watch as this rare formation approaches from behind the crowd for the final pass. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Air Force Heritage Flight. We hope you've enjoyed watching and taking pride in this rare display of more than 70 years of air power heritage. Since 1947, American airmen have been breaking barriers in air, space, and cyberspace, resulting in a force that provides unparalleled global vigilance, reach, and power. Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of your United States Air Force, the Commander of Air Combat Command, General Ken Wilsbach, and all the men and women of Air Combat Command, we welcome you once again to the Warriors over the Wasatch 2024 here at Hill Air Force Base. I am the F-35 Demonstration Team Chief, Staff Sergeant Thomas Bristol from Meridian, Idaho. I'm joined today by our team superintendent, Senior Master Sergeant Jake Sapola from Grants Pass, Oregon, as well as our team safety observer and combat-ready F-35 pilot, Captain Marcos Toro Orozco. Toro is a combat veteran fighter pilot with more than 340 hours in fighter jet aircraft and hails from Farson, Wyoming. As a member of the 388th Fighter Wing, also known as Panther Nation, commanded by Colonel Michael Getty, located here at Hill Air Force Base in scenic northern Utah, it is my distinct pleasure to describe for you today a capability demonstration by the world's most technologically advanced fifth-generation fighter, the F-35A Lightning II. The team commander and pilot for today's flight is Captain Melanie Mock Klusner. Mock comes from a military family, but she was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. She is a veteran combat fighter pilot with more than 750 hours in fighter jet aircraft. The F-35 you are about to see is a supersonic, 9G-capable, multi-role aircraft that combines cutting-edge stealth with the most advanced avionics system of any fighter aircraft in history. The F-35 gives the United States Air Force the power to dominate the skies, anytime, anywhere. While you won't see everything that makes the F-35A Lightning II the most technologically advanced stealth fighter aircraft in the world, you will witness its raw power. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to stand up and get your cameras ready. I present to you the newest and most technologically advanced fifth-generation fighter aircraft in the world, your United States Air Force's F-35A Lightning II.
All right, welcome back in here to Broadcast Central. The F-35 demo team has taken off. Captain Mock Klusner is the pilot. Let's take a look and learn a little bit more about the pilot of the F-35 demonstration team.
What is it like to fly the F-35? A lot of People say it feels like you're on a roller coaster. You get to go upside down when you want. You get to do pretty much anything. And you've got the most powerful fighter jet engine ever built.
It takes grit and determination to fly the F-35, and Captain Melanie Klusner, call sign Mock, has plenty to share.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
Captain Klusner's passion for flying started young and was heavily influenced by her family. Her dad was an F-16 pilot, and her uncle flew the C-130s. There's also her trailblazing mom, who was in the first graduating class of women at the Air Force Academy and flew the KC-135.
When I told my mom I wanted to be a fighter pilot as a kid, she's like, yeah, you can actually do that now because of people like her who went through and broke all those barriers for people to do that today. So I feel very lucky. I'm grateful to the women that came before me.
Having served all over the world, flying the T-38 and the F-16, Captain Klusner and her husband now call Hill Air Force Base home. Did I mention he's also an F-35 pilot?
I think what we're doing is both cool, just in very different ways. And he supports me, I support him, so it's a good balance.
It was just 3 months ago Captain Klusner was made commander of the F-35 demo team, which travels to air shows across the country showcasing the world's most advanced fighter jet. Her favorite maneuver for the crowd?
I think inverted to inverted, because how often do you get to go upside down 300 feet above the ground? Never, unless you're the demo pilot or you're about to get fired. So that's probably my favorite maneuver.
While the demo team provides entertainment, what really inspires Captain Klusner are the people she's performing for. The veterans who have been in her shoes and flown the planes that she loves. She says it's an honor to fly for them and to inspire the next generation of pilots.
Every time I am in the cockpit and getting ready to do an air show, I always take a minute to just kind of reflect and say, I'm very lucky to be doing what I'm doing, and I'm super excited, so it's awesome.
She'll be traveling at just below the speed of sound, representing only half of the F-35 top speed of more than 1,200 miles per hour. Prepare yourselves for Freedom Thunder. The F-35 is coming in hot. In a dogfight, combat maneuverability is crucial. The Lightning II's advanced flight controls, combined with its powerful engine, gives the F-35 an impressive 1,500-foot turn radius. As Captain Klusner approaches show center, she will light the afterburner and bank sharply, pressing her into the seat with up to 9 Gs, or 9 times the force of gravity. After completing the turn, the F-35 will power straight up into the vertical and quickly change direction, flipping end over end in a maneuver we call the Lightning Loop. Coming in from your left, the F-35 Lightning II's combat radius turn. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Klusner has begun to reposition in preparation for the dedication pass. Captain Klusner and the rest of the F-35 demonstration team from the 388th Fighter Wing wish to dedicate this pass to the men and women from all branches of the armed forces and their families who are so bravely fighting today's joint fight. We would also like to remember our wounded warriors and veterans in attendance and those who have given their lives defending this great nation. This will be your best photo opportunity, so get your cameras ready to capture this salute. Now, from over your left shoulder, the F-35 demonstration team proudly presents the dedication pass. Captain Kluser will now demonstrate the Lightning II's crisp agility and handling. Notice that as she makes her approach, she is in the inverted position. As she reaches show center, she will complete a 360-degree roll and finish the pass inverted. Dropping back in from your right, Captain Kluser performing the inverted to inverted pass. The F-35 possesses the incredible ability to point its nose at will in a dogfight. Watch closely as the jet climbs more than a mile into the vertical and completes the lightning loop. And now, while under complete control and without thrust vectoring, Captain Kluser will execute a full 360-degree flat turn. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lightning II's pedal turn. Watch now as Captain Kluser flies across the air about a container and traces a square in the sky. As she reaches the top of the loop, she will remain inverted and reduce the speed of the aircraft to just over 100 knots. Coming in from your right, the F-35 performing the unique square loop. The ability to maintain slow speed flight is crucial in combat. The potent combination of sophisticated flight controls coupled with the most powerful fighter engine ever built make it possible to reduce the F-35 speed to less than 100 knots. Coming in from your left, Captain Kluser will demonstrate the F-35's slow speed capability. And then just as she approaches show center, you will once again feel the raw power of the engine as she lights the afterburner and accelerates the aircraft into a near vertical climb. Ladies and gentlemen, don't look away yet. As Captain Cruiser reaches the peak of her climb, she will go inverted and reposition the aircraft by performing a split S. As she returns to show center, she will then accelerate rapidly and snap the F-35 through a series of aileron rolls to demonstrate the Lightning II's impressive roll and maneuverability. Dropping back in from your right, Captain Cruiser executing opposing rolls. As the most technologically advanced fighter aircraft in the world, the F-35's flight controls give our pilots a distinct advantage to outmaneuver their opponents. As Captain Cruiser approaches show center, she'll complete more than 135 degrees of heading change in just 3 seconds, slide the tail of the F-35 through the turn, and then powerfully climb out of the maneuver. Closing in from your left, ladies and gentlemen, the tactical pitch. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. Don't look away yet. The F-35 is coming back in from the left, and it's coming in hot. As Captain Cruiser prepares to land, we would like to give a shout out to our expert maintenance team that made today's demonstration possible. Our F-35 dedicated crew chiefs, Staff Sergeant Jacob Sackett from Benicia, California, and Staff Sergeant Jesse Easley from Houston, Texas. Our avionics specialists, Staff Sergeant Frank Zaragoza from Yuma, Arizona, and Staff Sergeant Devin Christensen from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Our aircrew flight equipment specialists, Senior Airman Samantha Jackson from Ogden, Utah, and Senior Airman Lee Cushaw from Kapolei, Hawaii, as well as our team's public affairs advisor, Lieutenant Nathan Pobletti. If you enjoyed today's performance, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram using @F35DemoTeam, and make sure to tag us in all of your social media posts using #F35DemoTeam. Thank you so much, Hill Air Force Base. It's very good to be home. Thank you for the hospitality. Have a great day.
All right, for the entire The complete crew from the F-35 on the road, day in and day out, back home this weekend. Let's give them a big Ogden round of applause. They're back in Utah. Heaven on earth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all you do all year long. Music. All right, now we're going to go to Rob Holland. Then we're going to go to the Thunderbirds. Rob Holland, brought to you by Bremont Watches, MX Aircraft, Champion Aerospace, MGL Avionics, Sling Pilot Academy, Full Stop Aviation, Tubro Aviation, and Titan Aviation Fuels. 10-time, 11-time, 12-time National Aerobatic Champion, doing things with the championships that nobody would ever